Hey gang, welcome back. In the past you may have seen some of my videos that I call road shows, and I've done 5 of those. This is going to be number 6. A few weeks ago I was contacted by a young man named Andrew who's in the Georgia National Guard. He just recently returned from Afghanistan. He contacted me and asked if I could come look at a '69 Mustang coupe that he wants to rebuild and restore. And I said sure, I'd be happy to do that. So today that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive to his place. It's about 2 hours from here, and I'm going to look over his Mustang, have some conversation with him, and show you what he has for a project. Alright, I'm here with Andrew, and we're going to check out his '69 Grande, and this car is from South Georgia?
North Georgia.
North Georgia. So it came from North Georgia. He's new to the Mustang world, let's say, but he wants to build this car, and he's recently back from Afghanistan, so 2 thumbs up for that. Thank you for serving. Appreciate that.
Of course.
But we're going to do a little overview and kind of see what this car has to offer and what it's going to need for him to build it. So let's take a look. All right, so let's talk about your car. Like we said, you said it came from North Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And while you were deployed, tell me about that.
So while I was deployed, my wife and I both knew that we were going to get a first generation Mustang, and we'd been looking at a lot of different places all over Georgia, particularly up North Georgia where we live. And then we found this one, and she went and checked it out, and it crunk up, and although it does have a little bit of body work that needs to be done, it was probably the best bang for our buck that we could get.
Okay.
And so I sent her the money, and she went and picked it up.
And now your adventure begins.
Yes, it does. So, I own a couple acres of land. We have a barn in there, and it's already cleared out. And that's where all my tools are, cherry picker, engine stand, everything, so we can start breaking it down and disassemble.
So where it's at right now is just temporary,
Yes, sir.
and you'll be moving soon to South Georgia. So you've got a barn and tools and facilities, and I think you have a brother who lives down there or something?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a younger brother.
So he can help you out with that as well.
Yes,
So
he actually just rebuilt a '65 Volkswagen Bug.
okay, very cool. So so he has some experience, and that's going to be great that you have somebody that can help you out with that. So your timeline is not real fast. You're looking at just taking your time, doing it right, and making it the way you want it.
Yeah. So I've always wanted a first generation Mustang. So this is my car. It's not for sale. It's not going to be something I do up and try and flip. It's for me, and it's going to stay our family.
That's cool. Okay. Well, let's walk around a little bit. I've already kind of looked at the car myself, and given Andrew some tips and advice on what he's going to need to do. But we'll just look the car over. It is a '69, and based on what I can see, I'm going to say it's a Grande. You can see it used to have a vinyl roof on it at some point. It has obvious surface rust and different issues that all these cars have. I have looked at the rear frame rails. They seem to be good and solid, which is a plus. That's always a concern. There will be things that need to be replaced. You've got rusted out tail panel, which isn't uncommon. It does have a little bit of rust issues up around the windshield frame or the rear window frame. So again, stuff that will need to be done. And as you can see, somebody, yeah, he's got quarters to do, so he's looking forward to that, I'm sure. The doors are actually, the inner structure is pretty solid. Common issues, rusted out in the corners, and the ever popular floor pans. And it appears somebody used a whole bunch of fiberglass filler or something to try to make a pan. So once he gets all this cut out, he'll put new pans in it, I'm sure. The lower section of the door which always is an issue. I've done videos on that. These appear to be solid. So again, the outer part will have to be fixed. Now I will say also, this car was a V8 automatic, had air conditioning, and it has power disc brakes, which is kind of an interesting configuration. So I'm going to let Andrew open up the hood, and we'll take a look at it. Now, from his assessment, this car would have had a 351 in it, and it appears that it has a 302 in it at this time. And it does run.
It does run.
That's a plus. This side looks pretty decent. As you can see, it's got the factory booster back there, and there's no AC on it at the time, at this moment. But if you look back there, it has the fittings that are pretty common or define the AC setup. It's going to need some more help up front here, and it will need torque boxes, but there's videos available for that. Now, what did you notice whenever you were looking at this? What did you see on this passenger side that had you questioning things?
The very first thing I noticed was these weren't lining up. These bolts right here, the fender it just doesn't look straight, obviously, and then this right here looked crumpled up.
Yep. I think from what I can tell and what I've mentioned to Andrew, and it appears that this car was hit on this side in some shape or form. Whether it was hit in the front, I don't know, or if it was hit on the side, but this tower is pressed in or pushed in, and it has buckled the cowl slightly. So I think it's probably going to either need to be on a frame machine or replace this assembly on this side, and he'll assess that as he goes along. Another thing that kind of defines that a little bit is there's a gap right here between the outer frame rail and the inner structure, so that tells me that that's rolled in slightly. But again, it can all be fixed. That's part of the process. These cars have always been beat and abused, and if you want to save one, you got to get your hands dirty. So now I noticed it's got, I'm assuming those are the original seats, but they may have been recovered at some point, because really the condition, you would expect them to be worse. But I forget what the fastbacks or sports roof had the high back seats, so this has a more standard, I don't know what that interior package is called, but having all the seats is a plus. Yes. Do you have the back?
I do have the back.
Okay.
Right over there.
Okay, good. Again, this door, similar issues, the outer portion, but the inner structures appear solid, so that's again a big plus. At some point somebody had done something to the dash, probably had shag carpet or something up there at one time. Knowing these cars. But when it's all together, it'll be a cool car. And I'm not familiar with the color, but obviously it was green. I don't know if that's the frost green, I can't remember. Not that important. Are you planning on going back with that color?
So far, I think that's probably the hardest question to answer. You look at all the other ones, or a lot of restored Mustangs,
yeah.
And you have these visions in your head where, I'd love it to be black, but then again, the green does look good.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the hardest question to answer, is what color I want to actually make the car, paint the car.
Well, the advantage is you don't have some rare one-off, Mustang that somebody would beat you up if you didn't restore it back to factory.
Yes, sir.
So you can actually build it the way you want it and make you happy with it.
Yes, sir. And
not worry about it, because it is a 69, which is great, but like I said, it's not a Mach 1, it's not a Boss or any of those numbers or names that you want to call it.
Yes,
so yeah, I'd build it the way I want and be happy with that. And I also want to point out, and I was mentioning this to him earlier, another AC indicator is the fact that it has a green window tint. The factory green window is still in it. He's going to have to replace the one on the passenger or driver's side, but he already has that, so that's a plus. And other than that, it's a typical Mustang project. Well, that's the end of this video. I'm glad I was able to come up here and look at Andrew's car and give him some advice. I know he's been watching my videos for some time over in Afghanistan, so that's kind of, good for him to kill some time.
Yes.
Keep him occupied, but also encourage him to get started on this car. If I had a t-shirt that was your size, I'd give it to you, but since I don't, I'll give you a sticker.
Thank you, sir.
And an official pen.
There we go.
And I went with subdued gray.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it.
Yep. That'll be it. And thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And hopefully I hear more from Andrew soon whenever he gets his car back to South Georgia and can actually get started on it. And I'm looking forward to that. But until next time, take care of yourselves.